You're listening to the Emo Metal Gamers Podcast.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of Emo Metal Gamers Podcast. Today is January 2nd, 2019, and this is episode number 60.
Hey-o!
My name is Jose Roldan,
Frank Barna.
and you're listening to the Evil Metal Gamers Podcast, where you hear all your geek news.
All week. Every week.
And we're finally made it to 2019, the year of the new systems. The question
Whatever.
is, I understand you're not excited, but it's going to happen. Shit, now
No.
they're talking about all new VR and shit for PS5. The leaks keep coming in, bro. The leaks keep coming in.
Yeah, I don't care.
I get it. You don't care.
I just
But
don't
our
care.
listeners
because-
care.
No, I just don't care about new systems because, I mean, every game that I play, you still see the life in the system. It doesn't really need the new stuff.
Consoles are restricted. That's why you need new systems. Because consoles are restricted.
No,
Bro,
but you,
back then, you keep comparing about how the lifespan of the PlayStation 2, the lifespan of the PlayStation 3. Back then, which was about what, 8 to 10 years ago, we were moving at a slower pace. For fuck's sake, consoles were not too far from PC. But at this rate that we're moving, consoles are staying behind, bro. They're falling behind big time. They are about 8 years behind in technology. They're 8 years behind. They have to fucking move with the wheels of technology. They have to.
No, they don't. Well, the thing
Yes,
is,
they do. Just like a fucking iPhone. It
But
needs
you're
to
talking-
move on. Go ahead.
There's no proof that the iPhone needs to move on because it's still the number one selling phone.
Okay, but it
That's-
still have new features that you enjoy, right? And they got rid of shit that it wasn't that was bad.
No, not
Every new
necessarily.
upgrade, they get rid of stuff that doesn't work. They don't keep everything exactly from iOS, whatever the fuck, 1. Just like Android, too. Everything moves up. This is technology.
Right, but the biggest thing in that concept is it's like constantly upgrading your PC. Like you don't have to constantly upgrade your PC to have it running.
But
what
you
it's
have
running.
to if you want to see better games.
Yeah, but
This
that's
is
thing.
the way
You
it
don't-
should be. It should be that you should be able to upgrade your own consoles. It should be like that.
No,
That
that's
way, if
stupid.
you want to put money, then you put money on it. That's it. Why is this stupid?
It's
Why are
stupid.
you? People don't want to be held back on the technology, bro.
Yeah. Well, creators
What?
do. People
The
don't.
creators don't. That's not true because they're making the games at a way better rate for PC. So that is not true. That is not accurate. You're talking
What do you
about the right. What are you talking about? Every game that comes out for PC is about 10 times better than what it looks like on a console.
And it's
You're talking
very, and you're very limited into what your demographics are. You're very limited.
But you can't be restricted. Technology shouldn't be restricted. You should move on. I mean, so you're saying that you don't like your 4K TV?
It's whatever.
It's whatever.
Like I could live.
But yet you
without
bought it.
I didn't buy it. My girlfriend bought it. I didn't buy it.
Oh, okay. So you can live without it. So
Yeah,
why did you
absolutely.
jump to HD and not just stay in the original
Dude, I was on
CDR?
Once again, it goes like the technology is moving at a pace where it doesn't matter.
But
Because like you're talking about how you want to get an OLED television. They're already working on 8K.
I don't need 8K yet.
But that's my point.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it-
I mean, it's just technology, bro. You're asking for people to not move on in advance. You're
Oh,
asking
no,
for that's crazy.
I'm not asking for people not to move on in advance. I'm just saying it's too soon.
It's not, man. It's not.
I mean, because once again, the only thing you're
How many
getting is
years did the PlayStation 4 have now? 5?
5.
Bro, I think that's way too long, to be honest.
No.
Of course it's too long, bro.
No, dude. I mean, listen.
Every
are you
single,
going?
go
Like,
ahead.
here's the thing, dude. Do you have the $500-$600 to shell out day one,
If you're
and then
able
you
to
have
sell
to
the other
wait?
one, then yeah.
and then you have to wait a year until you get actually good games? Stop, man.
Well, that's where they should be doing backwards compatibility.
It's
Not
just,
stop, man. They should be able to do backwards compatibility. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You're saying that there's bad games in the first generation, but that's Sony's fault for not wanting to put the games that are coming out for PlayStation 4 into the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4. That's not my fault. That's not your fault.
Well, no,
That's
they only
Sony's
did that.
fault.
They only did that for one system, and that was the 4.
Okay. But when PlayStation 3 came out, you could still play the PlayStation 2 games that were coming out in it, yes or no?
Yeah.
And it made it a little bit better looking.
No, that's
Smoothed out.
No.
Either way, you're talking about there won't be games to play, but there will be. Yes, it won't have any brand new games for the system, but they'll still make games. The games that are going to come out for PlayStation 4, they can bring into PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it's just, but like...
Let me tell you, everything moves now. Everything moves up every year now. For a console system to last 5 years is ridiculous. And don't say that people can't afford it, because people are affording to get a new phone every year. Plenty of people.
But that's because you can, dude.
People who are in poverty do it.
Yeah, but that's because it's like $50 a month. They're not shelling out $1,000 for a brand new phone.
Okay, but this doesn't mean the new system is going to be $1,000. It's going to be $600. If you sell your old system, it comes up to $200, maybe $300.
Yeah, it's still...
People find a way, bro, to get the new system.
I'm not saying that there won't be a way. I'm saying it's stupid is what I'm saying.
But you sound like an old man who this is something an old person would say.
No, I just...
The modern world is...
No, it doesn't have to be with me being old. It has me talking about quality. And quality is not going to be there day one.
You're talking about software. You're talking about software quality, and that's not because of the system. That is because of the makers. Don't blame that on the new system. The new system is just giving you more power. It is up to the makers to do good software. That has nothing to do with the console.
Right, but it's just...
And like giving more power to a company does not restrict them to do a piece of shit. So if they had ideas for the PlayStation 4, they can implement those ideas to PlayStation 5. Don't tell me because they're being given more power, now they can't come up with a good idea. That makes no sense at all. If they had an idea for PlayStation 4 in the lifespan of PlayStation 4, why can't they just pass that idea to PlayStation 5?
There's nothing, like, once again, there's nothing except more power. And I don't need more power.
But the makers do.
I mean, no, they don't. But we'll get into that later.
They do, because that's what they want.
They don't. Well, I mean, it's not what I don't think it's what they want. It's just what it is.
Bro,
because with more power, you need a bigger studio.
Okay.
You need to spend more money. And the way the industry's going, that's not the way you make money anymore, man.
Okay.
Outside of something like everything that you're saying right now goes against what is being said. You're the one who always talks about you got to make money, you got to make money. The big blockbuster titles don't make money like they used to.
Bro,
it's all
with
about
the digital coming here, with digital coming out, and with less production on actual CDs, the companies will be saving millions of dollars. millions of not having to do those fucking CDs, the fucking boxes. Millions. You're going to tell me those millions of dollars can't buy more power, more workers?
Yeah, no, dude, it's all about shortchanging and how can I get the most. Dude, the fucking Blizzard just let go of 100 people.
They let go of 100 people because the company made stupid marks and their stocks went down.
But it still.
And they're the perfect example of what happens when you stick to an old-looking game for way too long instead of just jumping to the new one. What do you mean, no way?
World of Warcraft is
World of
updated
Warcraft
plenty.
looks like it's fucking 15 years old.
And World of Warcraft still is the number one.
But
MMO.
it was gonna catch up with them, bro. It was gonna catch up with them. All the cuts that were made for Blizzard were, I think, if I'm not mistaken, were World of Warcraft customers, a service. But not that many people are on World of Warcraft anymore, man. It's not how it used to be. People move on to better looking things. It's just the way it is. I mean, you don't see me playing with my Game Boy. And they've been holding on for 15 years. They made it look a little bit better. But I mean, it was gonna catch up, bro. And then they have the opportunity to keep up with the times. And what did? They did that shitty mobile game. Instead of keeping up with the times and bringing out an actual software for people to play on PC console. That once again, that was, you see what happens when you're not with the times? They got to keep up, man. Technology's like that. And I know for a fact consoles are not going to survive if they stay behind that long. 5 years is plenty of time. And in the next, I don't be surprised if the next time it'll be 2 years, maybe 3. It's just the way it's going, bro.
That's stupid.
It's stupid, but that's just how the modern world is now.
Yeah,
this
but
isn't the 90s, dude, bro.
But once again, you have $600 to throw away every 2 years.
Yes. If you know that a system is coming out every 2 years, then yes, I could do it easily.
Yeah, no, I can't.
You spend $600 going to McDonald's a year. Could you do that? Could you not go to McDonald's for a year?
You're talking about actually. I mean, that's just eating, man.
Yeah, you don't have to eat junk food. You can buy food at the grocery store.
No, you can't. I'm just saying, like.
The point of the matter is that if you want something, you can get it.
But that's now.
And $600 in 2 years is not going to be the same as $600 as it was when PlayStation 3 came out. See, that's where PlayStation 3 went wrong. $600 back then is probably what, $900 today, maybe $800. Yeah, okay. If PlayStation 5 is going to be $800, it's going to bomb, obviously. I mean, look what they're doing. They're trying to catch up with 4K. It's just cute to see consoles trying to catch up with 4K when not even the PC can do 4K. It's like the most adorable thing I see. It's like the little engine that could. I mean, there's no way you can get good 4K and run it perfectly. And then people are actually shocked when the game only runs 24 to 30 frames a second because it's a fucking console. You're expecting a miracle. And this is one of the reasons that they want to move on, because they've been promising shit that they can't live up to. Right? I don't look at the Xbox One, the most powerful system right now. It doesn't even fucking run the games that great. Wasn't PUBG running terrible in that system? And that's like a simple looking game. You gotta give them and trust me, this is not something they want. This is what people want. They eat this shit up because that's how people are these days. They just want something new every 2 years. And I'm telling you, this is all started with Steve Jobs. I'm telling you, Steve Jobs started this shit with an iPod, and then the next year iPod 2 and the iPod 3rd generation, and then it came to the iPhone, and then it was iPhone 2, iPhone 3, iPhone 3S, whatever the fuck, blah, blah, blah. This is something that Apple started. Apple was the one who started this fucking yearly thing with technology. And now we've corrupted, humanity into wanting the newest thing every year. And consoles going to have to do it too if they want to survive. I understand you don't like it, but that's just the way they just have to adapt or they'll fall behind.
It's so stupid.
It's stupid, but 10 years ago we were talking about how stupid it was to rent movies online. Wish it was better to go to the store and look at the movies. It was just better to feel them and look at the cover boxes. You go out and get candy and look at it now. We thought it was stupid and now we're fucking streaming out of our TVs.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's 2019, baby. Who knows what I mean, I don't even know if the systems are coming out 2019. It'll probably be 2020.
yeah,
Bro, they don't have any games coming out this year.
Who?
They have the zombie game?
Sony? Nobody knows what Sony's releasing this year.
That means they don't have anything coming out this year.
Nobody knows what nobody knows.
Because they have nothing coming out. Daisy, stop with Daisy. Daisy's been delayed 3 times. Daisy is going to be the new, that fucking Ico game. What was it called? Last Guardian. It's going to be a huge disappointment. I can tell you that right now. Daisy's going to be the biggest disappointment.
Okay.
Delayed. Usually when games are delayed more than 3 times, oof. I think Red Dead only did 2, right?
Yep.
They knew when to stop. And they guaranteed, I remember that, they guaranteed that was the only delay they were going to have. So let's go to news. That was interesting. 17 minutes.
17 minutes of you just, ugh.
Protecting the future.
Not protecting the future.
Yeah, you sound like when I had a conversation with my grandfather why the library was more important than the internet. And now the library is like, who was it who said it? Oh man, somebody said it funny. I think it was Ron White. Now the library is just a place where homeless people go to pee on. Okay, so what do you got?
First and foremost, the big news that came out starting off this new year, Stranger Things got its premiere date. Super excited about that.
I'm hoping this is the last season for that show.
No.
I'm really hoping. It's so stupid to keep doing this.
They
the
said
same
they got
town
6.
with the same town and the same kids is just ridiculous.
6 seasons. That's what
Yo,
they said.
The only way I'm going to justify this show to have more seasons if this ends in a to be continued. If it ends magically happy like season 2 did, fuck that show.
No, that's the way they've written their show so that it can end in case Netflix wants to pull a Daredevil and just cancel it. That's how they're written.
Which is fine, but
that's how every season's written.
I understand. It's just like, how can you possibly make this show any better? The 3rd season is going to be like, oh, the upside down place again. Oh, no, monsters from the upside down place.
No, they've already said like they're not going back to the upside down.
Okay, so it'll be more monsters in the same town to the same kids.
I don't know how they're doing it. I love the trailer. The teaser that they gave though about the mall and how cool the mall is, and that they're getting this new thing. I've said it before. The show's fantastic. They could completely get rid of the monsters and just have the kids living in the 80s, and it'd be a great show.
But then it would lose its niche. Did I pronounce that right?
The Niche?
The Niche, yeah.
I mean, it's far and away the most popular show on Netflix.
But the Niche is the science fiction of it that takes place in the 80s.
Yeah,
I understand
but
that it's great that the show takes place in the 80s, but you take away the science fiction part and you just got kids in the 80s.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
It does if the first 2 seasons were about science fiction. Of course, there's something wrong with that. It's like doing The Office, and then on the 3rd season, it's no longer in the office. It's now in a mall. You understand how you take away the one thing that the show's about? Stranger Things. How could you do a show without strange things going on?
Well, yeah, but they've already said that the worst reviewed episode of the show is the most important to season 3, and that's her sister.
That's right, her sister.
She's the most important thing.
I totally forgot about the sister, but we'll see.
And that's where the show gets.
I mean, I'm excited about season 3. I don't see the future of season 4, 5, and 6, and it's always the same kids and it's always the same town. It's like, what? I mean, imagine if American Horror was always in the same fucking house. That would be boring after a while. So, I mean, if they went in the route where each season is a different town with different characters with different stories, I would like that. Don't get me wrong, I like the kids. I'm just saying it's just unrealistic that every season is going to be something that happens with them, you know? Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? It's like by the 5th time, they're like, oh, well, this again.
Right, but each season's been, well, I mean, it's 2 seasons.
It's only been 2 seasons, yes.
But each time it's been something different.
But it was still back to the upside down place. So it was kind of in relation to the season before.
Yes.
But if you're not going to have the upside down place, and assuming that this season is going to be about mutant kids like them, like the sisters, with powers and shit, what's going to be the next season? The kids go to vacation. You don't understand? I'm starting to get a fucking Scooby-Doo feeling out of this show by season 4. Those pesky kids, they're in trouble again with supernatural shit. You understand? If they take this too far with the same cast, that's what it's going to look like. It's a Scooby-Doo gang.
But that's what it is with all shows. It's what happened with Sons of Anarchy. It's what happened in that show Shameless.
But that's based on things that are real. I'm not saying it's real. You know what I mean. It's realistic stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about science fiction horror. If it happens too much, it's just like, it's like Friday the 13th. Why would kids keep going to the fucking camp in, oh fuck, what was the name of the lake?
Crystal Lake.
Why would they keep going to Crystal Lake if that's where Jason is? By the 5th movie, you're like, okay, this makes no sense.
And they made 9 of them.
And they all were terrible.
No, they were all great.
No, they weren't. 13.
Yes, they were.
1 part 1, part 2, and that was it. Jason Goes to New York. Oh, Jason Goes to Space.
That was Jason 10. That was stupid.
They were all stupid. What about a fucking Halloween? Michael Myers keeps coming back.
Apparently, the last Halloween was really good.
No, I heard, but that they went in a whole direction. Because I don't know where they went with this fucking Halloween. They went into the timeline where H2O didn't happen. Which makes no sense. Because in H2O, Jamie Lee Curtis plays herself from the original Halloween and she gets killed. But in this one, Jamie Lee Curtis plays herself again, but she's alive. So it's like they created a whole new timeline. I don't know. I want to like this. I'm not gonna not watch the show. I'm gonna watch it, but you're gonna have to really convince me that season 4 is worth it. Because Yeah, it doesn't look like it's most likely, but whatever. Talking about Netflix, Bird Box has become a fucking sensation in the last week. Now, I know you haven't seen it, so I'm not going to talk much about it. But, so Netflix basically announced over Twitter that they had that Bird Box was their biggest movie ever. It had 45 million views in like a week. More than any TV show that they have, more than any movie they have. And I saw it, and I'll be honest, it's just a fucking ripoff of Quiet Place. And people don't see this. Quiet Place was like 100,000 times better. Did you see Quiet Place?
Yeah, Quiet Place was amazing.
It's basically the same thing. Monsters take over the world. You want to avoid them. And the only way to avoid them is by handicapping yourself on one of your senses. Instead of sound, then you, instead of sound, you handicap your eyesight. So I'm like, yeah, this is a ripoff. And people don't see it. I don't know how they don't see it. I guess they just see Sandra Bullock and they say, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, people tend to do that kind of stuff.
Average. It's an average movie. It's not bad. It's not like it's total garbage. Her performance was great. Sandra Bullock does everything good. She was fucking fantastic in the movie. But it was like, the hype is not real, guys. Take off your blindfolds and see the light. That's what I say. Because I give it like a 7. But there's like, it's become like an overnight sensation. Like there's memes everywhere. It's like, what the fuck, bro? There's like t-shirts and shit, and just people don't stop talking about it on social media.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But you should watch it since you have Netflix. Let me know what you think.
Well, in Netflix and in watching stuff, I watched the Black Mirror movie.
Oh, God, I hated that movie.
I
like
liked
that movie?
It a lot. I liked
thought
it a
it was
lot.
so stupid. I thought it was
I
such
thought
a
it was-
letdown.
I think the concept is great.
This is okay. You get to pick the route and stuff like that.
It's not
it was
so
like
much
a Telltale game.
No, that's not. That's not. It's not like a. It is like a Telltale game, but it's more of an adventure book.
Yes, I remember. I used to have an adventure book on Batman.
And you do you want to go in the cave or not go in the cave?
If you go in the cave, yeah,
you died.
you died, and then it go back to the old chapter and pick the other choice.
Yeah.
So the story wouldn't change. You would just die, and that would be the end of it. As opposed of a Telltale game, you make a decision, and it just changes the story altogether. You don't die, just the story changes.
Right. I found the ideas behind it extremely fascinating. I played around with it tonight, and I got a lot of the endings, or a lot of the ideas behind the endings. And it was really interesting.
I got all the endings. I saw all of them, and fucking people made floor plans or some shit with decisions, so you get to see everything. But I mean, you don't need any of that.
No, you just keep watching.
The movie
it.
does it for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go back and you pick this and you pick that. I just thought the story was boring to me.
No, I thought the story was very interesting. Just the overall idea. It's
the idea.
Yeah, the idea.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just once again we're milking the fucking 80s again.
Well,
I'm getting tired of it.
But that's just because you have to look, dude. You have to look at the times, and you gotta look at the people who are creating stuff. And a lot of the people who are creating stuff were born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s.
So
That's all that is. That's all that. Why do you think growing up in the 90s, we got so many movies about like, baseball and The Sandlot and A League of Their Own and
those
Forrest
were movies
Gump.
in the 50s and 40s.
The 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, because those are the people who are writing film. In the next couple of years, dude, we're going to get movies based on the 90s, and everything's going to be based on the 90s. It's just how it is, man. It's just based off the people who are writing. That's all it is. That's literally all it comes down to, is that just the people who are creating today grew up in the 80s.
I guess. I mean,
all the writers now are in their 40s.
The one thing that I understood that they did in the 80s was that the creator of Bandersnatch, did I say that right? Bandersnatch?
Yeah.
The creator of Bandersnatch did a book. It was an adventure game in the book. So in those times of when he did Bandersnatch, that's how you did an adventure game, was with a book. Then, obviously, in the 80s, you have a new medium, which is video games. So it was the same thing. He's doing the adventure game through a video game. And hence, if you get one of the different endings, they go even further into the future. And now they're doing Bandersnatch in the technology of the future. You got that ending, right? I hope I didn't spoil it.
Yeah, no, it's...
Okay. So you did get it?
Yeah.
Where they try to do it in the future, too?
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff was cool, but, I mean, it was just...
It's just the overall concepts of it. Like, his explanation of Pac-Man was so great, and it was so profound.
There was just some stuff that was like, what the fuck? The acid and the guy jumps. Oh, you should have jumped. So then the other guy jumps, and it's like, it led you to the same fucking thing.
But it goes back to the concept of, all realities are perceptions, and that we live in a multiverse, and we don't know, like, you don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah, which is fine. I understand what you're saying. But then the whole movie went in a different route when he's talking to somebody who's watching Netflix.
Right, but
then go ahead.
But even still, it goes to that perception. It goes back to that idea of perception. If somebody's watching you, why are they watching something so boring and bland? It's deeper than it goes back to. And this is that thing where it's so smart that a lot of people aren't grasping what makes it so well done.
I don't think it's so well done. I mean, you're looking into it and you think it's like the greatest masterpiece, but I'm not looking at it like as the greatest. 7. I wouldn't give it a 9 or an 8.
I think this is the problem is the gimmick that it uses. That's the problem. The hype is behind the gimmick, and the hype isn't behind the message.
I guess.
That's
out of all the Black Mirrors, that's my least favorite.
No way. There's got to be something that was worse than that. There's no way.
Nah, it was too long. That whole movie could have been done in 30 minutes instead of fucking 3 hours of my life. I really did think I lost 3 hours of my life.
Really? 3 hours? No way.
It comes up to 3 hours.
No way.
It's not 3 hours? Maybe I'm wrong. It's not 2 hours.
But once again, you can end it at any time. You don't have to keep going through all the different scenarios.
No, because you want to see the actual ending. Which I thought the best ending out of all of them was the one with the future.
I thought the one with him and his mom was the best one, to be quite honest.
Where he dies?
Yeah.
Yeah, they stole that from Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, I know. But I knew as soon as I picked it, like, he was going to die.
Yep. You get to die with his mom.
But that's the beauty in the concept.
So let's talk about Soulja Boy, this douchebag idiot.
What happened now?
They took the console away from the system.
Okay.
From literally 2 days after it came out for sale, because he got sued. He's an idiot, bro. How are you going to do a fucking knockoff of Nintendo Game Boy Advance, Neo Geo, and PS Vita and not expect to get sued? I mean, who is this? He must be some form of stupid, right? Am I wrong here? How could you not assume you're not going to get sued by ripping off these games? And then they're all going to be in the system? Come on, man. Are you stupid? How are you going to put other console games in one big system and you don't think you don't get to pay them? It's an emulator. Emulators are illegal. Okay, he's selling it for $150 the console. He even put a tweet that I had to boss up. I didn't have a choice. Yeah, you didn't have to have a choice because you were going to get fucking sued, you idiot. Oh my God. Why do people do this? Look, the console came with 800 games built in, Frank. If I told you that I was going to start selling a system with 800 games from other systems, would you not?
Probably, I mean, if I could be quite honest, he probably was walking through the mall and saw one of those things. You know what I'm talking about? Where they have all the...
That even
That's
shows
probably what he did.
That even shows more of his ignorance. Bro, you cannot be a celebrity and start promoting your shit and just flat out say it's going to come out with 800 emulated games. Like, first of all, the biggest, most horrific gaming system to mess with is Nintendo. Nintendo will kill your mom until you stop, using their product. You don't mess with Nintendo. Nintendo's like super strict with their shit. And then second, you got Sony. No, Nintendo doesn't like anybody using their shit for anything, not even on YouTube.
Weren't you telling me about like how they have to now people on YouTube have to like pay them?
Yeah, every time a YouTube, like PewDiePie does a video on YouTube about a Nintendo game, the money goes to Nintendo. The money goes to Nintendo, and then they give you like 1% of the profits. Nintendo's super strict, bro. Super strict. And this guy thinks he's going to put 800 games in there. That's cute. It literally was taken out like 24 hours after it went for sale. I wonder if anybody got their hands on it.
Oh, there's got to be people that got their hands on it.
Anyway, I thought that was a good closure for that bullshit. So, do you get any other news?
The last piece of news that I got was, and I'm excited, but I'm also kind of like, I don't know what to think, that Atlas teases a Persona 5 R.
Yeah. For the Switch is what people are assuming it is.
Well, some people are saying that it's for the Switch. Other people are saying that it could be like an expansion game because Atlas does this with their titles. Look at Catherine coming out for the PS4.
But they said that the creator of Smash Brothers, he was going into the Atlas building for a while. So they also assumed that the game is just going to come out for the Switch. And the reason is because normally games that have come out for Nintendo will come out in Smash Brothers. So it was strange to see Persona 5 in Smash Brothers.
No, and that's something that they've said is that Persona likes to go from one system to the other.
Exactly.
They don't. They pretty much always release on Sony and then they go to
But
the other systems.
I don't think they've ever released anything for Nintendo. No Personas at all.
I don't know.
If it does come out, would you buy it? If it was the same game?
No, if it's the same game, no. If it's different, like I own Catherine for the PlayStation 3. It's one of my favorite PlayStation 3 titles. And I'm totally buying the full body Catherine when it comes out on Valentine's Day.
But
Totally buying it.
If Catherine came out for the Switch, would you get it?
No, I'm gonna get it for the PlayStation 4.
But if
Now,
if you had the powers to take it with you,
No.
no. If Metal Gear Solid 3 came out for the Switch, would you get it?
Maybe.
Because that's the route that Nintendo's going. It's just putting games that are already out. And what appeals to the customer is that you can take it with you.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, the rumors are that Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out for the Switch.
It wouldn't surprise me if it does.
It wouldn't. But it has to be strictly for the small screen. Because once you put that on the TV, you're going to see how shitty it looks.
Yeah.
So if they keep it just on that, it'll be good. Another game that I heard was coming out was where I had it and I dropped and I just lost it. It was another game, a big game coming out, and I fucking lost it. I think it was Dragon Quest 11. And what's the next big game coming out that they're trying? There's a really big game coming out. Look, they did it with Dragon Ball Z. They put it in there. Man, what's the next big fucking game? What's in January? It's not Kingdom Hearts. It'll come to me and I'll bring it back up. So Jack Black talking about streaming and shit. Fucking guy opens up a YouTube channel and he makes 5 million. He gets 5 million subscribers. He's already rich. This should not be allowed. I'm telling you, I am so against this. It's not even funny.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Nothing. Obviously, there's nothing I could do about it. It just gets me upset because this realm is for unique creators that are not famous who work hard to become famous. So it's not fair when a famous person goes into this realm.
Oh, you mean like how Aubrey went and helped out Ninja?
Yes.
To get views?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Dude, and when I told you that was a publicity stunt,
it is. Then he tried to do it again with Rick and Morty. Did you see that? And it was a total disaster.
No.
Oh my God! He played Fallout 76, and he had Rick and Morty, and then he had I think it was a rapper. I might be wrong, and it was not in sync, and it was just terrible. It was a disastrous mess.
You mean like Fallout 76 was a disastrous mess?
I think Fallout 76 was lagging, and then the cameras were lagging, so Rick and Morty were saying something to him, and he wouldn't do it. And then he would do it like 5 minutes later. It was a mess. It was just... I don't like that Ninja kid, but whatever, man. He worked his way there, so good for him. But Jack Black is already famous. He goes in there... I saw his video. It looked pretty funny. It's cool with me. He is a gamer, so I'm okay with it. So is what's his name? The guy from... Oh my God. We always do this. The big black guy from the commercials. God damn, what the fuck?
Wow. That's
Hold on, give me a second. The deodorant commercials. Old Spice. What's the name of that black guy?
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. He has an account too. He's a gamer. But I mean, I guess it's okay. As long as he's not making profit off of it. Because if he is, it's just not right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I know. Hopefully he won't be asking for money. Hopefully. Hopefully. Jesus, Jack Black. I hope you're not asking for money. Oh, here it is. They're trying to do The Witcher for Nintendo Switch. I don't know how the hell they're going to do that. That's like impossible.
Well, aren't they doing like a Witcher card game or something?
Yeah, no, but it says here they're trying to do Witcher 3. And I don't see how that's possible. But going into sad news, did you hear what happened with last night?
What's last night?
Oh, you forgot about last night, huh?
Oh, yeah. Okay, what happened? It got canceled?
Cyberpunk side scroller The Last Night hits legal issues and needs help. They were supposed to have they were supposed to have like a trailer for the video game awards, and they had to cancel it at last minute. So he tweeted, on 2018 Rise and Fall, we doubled the team. We got ourselves a properly lovely studio in the core of London. Game budget finally got a massive raise. We found and developed a code architecture this game we needed. And then he did tweet, then ... we encountered massive business, legal, and funding issues. We can't talk about it. We had to cancel a new trailer. We are currently raising funds, so get in touch. What the fuck? So now they have no money? Oh my God.
That sucks.
It does suck. Big time. I mean, it had potential.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to it. Even though it was going to be only on Xbox. Well, it's probably going to be on PC too.
Wait, what? It was only coming up? Well, yeah, but you got Steam now.
Yeah.
That can run that game, because that game didn't look like it was like super.
No, it was pixelated. It was
pixelated. I mean, anybody could have done it.
Yeah.
And now EA is also making a Frostbite engine specifically for the Switch. Man, the Switch is doing good if it's getting the attention of EA and what is it? Red Project, CD Red Project.
Dude, you wrote, like it was 2 episodes ago. You wrote off the Switch as the worst system ever. Blah 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 blah.
No, that's not what I said. I said they need to come out with games. They didn't come out with games. 2018 had 2 games for the Switch, and that is unacceptable. That's what I said. I never said the Switch was a piece of shit. 2 games is unacceptable. And if it came out, and if that happened with the PlayStation or the Xbox, there would be massive chaos. People would be fucking killing each other out in the streets. It would be chaos. The government would shut down.
What 3 games did Xbox release last year?
I don't remember. But Frank, once again, but they still got the third party backup. So they still got Red Dead. They still got Tomb Raider. I'm sorry, I'm running short on AAA games right now. I can't. It's late, bro. I can't think of any. But either way, the AAA games, they all came out for Xbox. I agree with you. Xbox did not have first party games, but they had third party games. Nintendo Switch had no third-party games. All the games that came out for Nintendo were games that came out 5 years ago. And that's what I was saying. I'm hoping for what I'm reading, 2019 should be a better year for them. 2019 is, I mean, don't get me wrong. Super Smash Brothers sold the fuck out of, they recovered everything. But this is so Nintendo. They struggle. They do one good game, and they balance themselves out. And this is good for Nintendo, but it's not good for the consumer. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense to you?
No.
Bro, it's like not having sex for 2 years, and then you have sex, and it's great, right? It's the most greatest thing ever, but it's only a one-time thing. And it's the only example I can give you. It's like people they keep people waiting, bro.
I mean, I guess that's one of the reasons why you guys just love Zelda so much, is because you only get one every 15 years.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight with you. And
then when it comes out, you guys say, this is the greatest thing ever, and it's like, nah, it's okay.
I'm not gonna get into this with you, but yes, it is probably one of the reasons. Also, is because of the wait. Hence why Red Dead sold so good. Because if they would have had that demo out, let me tell you, Red Dead would have sold half of what they sold. And that is a guarantee. We'll never know, but I promise you, if there would have been a demo of that fucking game, it would have sold half of what it sold. But since you kept people waiting for so long, that's why people bought it. Because a lot of people were disappointed. And that, starting now, we're going to talk about the 2018 games. I am nominating Red Dead for the most disappointing game for fans. I loved it, but it's the most disappointing game for fans. That's, like I said, that's for fans. For me, I knew what the artistic vision was for Red Dead. And the faster you embrace that, the faster you like it. Because if you sit there and start nitpicking, then you're going to hate it. I'm talking to you, Dylan.
I still don't understand what Dylan's doing in that game.
No, he's not. He's doing it what everybody else is doing it. He's not the first one I've read that happens. There's a lot of people who have those kind of problems and shit. But one of the most frustrating things with Red Dead is when you do a mission and it takes you deep into the fucking wilderness or whatever, following your whatever cowboy partner. You do your mission, the mission is over, and when you look at the map, now you're in the middle of fucking nowhere and you have to travel all the way back to your fucking posse or whatever, your gang or whatever. I hate that. I didn't like that. And a lot of people hate that because it's just I didn't
experience that because I just with a lot of the missions, they gave you the option, do you want to go back with so-and-so?
But a lot of them don't.
And then from there, dude, that horse and buggy, you can ride that just about anywhere.
The what?
The horse and buggy.
The horse and buggy?
Yeah. There's a fast travel horse and buggy that'll take you from city to city.
Oh, yeah. But sometimes missions were in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's one mission where you rescue, what's his name? You rescue him from jail. And then you follow him. Or maybe that wasn't the mission. There was a mission where you go out into the fucking mountains or something and you kill a bunch of guys that had like a house and something. And then they say, we're going to go. You stay here and make sure nobody follows them. And then after they're gone and you make sure that nobody's around, you're stuck there. So if you want to go back to your gang, you have to fucking do a 20-minute fucking horseback ride all the way back. That is something that could turn off a person real fast. Because a 20-minute fucking horse ride is torturous, Frank. It's torturous. But if you accept it and you embrace the scenery and maybe let the auto horse ride, and then you go make yourself a sandwich, and you would enjoy it better. But I mean, those are the little details that just makes people not like that game. Details that were unnecessary. But I mean, I loved the game. I loved it a lot. But I'm just telling you, you try to understand the fans, the people who loved your first game. It wasn't like that. Was it like that before? I don't remember writing for hours.
I don't know of a single person who liked the first one who didn't like the second one. That's where you had me all the way up into that moment.
I think so. There was a lot of people, everybody who bought the fucking game. I played the first one.
No, it's easy because, dude, if you're 18 years old, you were 10 years old when the first one came out.
But it wasn't the same though. Dylan is one person who played the first one.
Dylan's doing some shit, and I don't know what the hell he's playing.
Maybe he was nervous. He's a new dad.
He's like, I should just be able to run in and shoot people. And I'm like, dude, they have already said that you're wanted and like to keep a low profile. And he's like, but then that's not the Wild West. I'm like, that actually is the Wild West there, bucko.
Yeah, but I understand what he's saying. It's like, there's no way that you kill someone and all of a sudden, in less than 5 minutes, you have 6 or 7 fucking sheriff people around. That's just not realistic. Wild West, you would kill someone and it was impossible to fucking trace you. If you're gonna go for realism, because obviously that's what they were aiming for. But that was
the thing, dude. If you killed somebody out in the middle of the prairie, I never got caught killing a random person in the middle of the prairie.
Yes, but if you killed somebody in the middle of a prairie and there was a witness, all of a sudden everybody knew your face because of one witness.
You have time to get that person, dude. I've chased people down for a good minute trying to get somebody,
and then you shoot him and you lose loyalty. That's the other thing that
doesn't mean anything in that game. Loyalty
so
doesn't
there
mean
you
anything.
go. Okay, there you go. You just proved it. An unnecessary thing to put in the game. Why did they put it then? If it doesn't mean anything.
No, well, if you get max evil loyalty, you get the other ending.
But it means nothing. You just said it means nothing.
Well, yeah. It means nothing unless you want to get the alternate ending.
Yeah, but I mean, it's unrealistic. If you shoot a bad guy and somebody's a witness of you shooting a bad guy, but they are a witness that you murdered someone, not a bad guy. They just saw you murder someone. So then you go back and you try to stop that person and you lose loyalty. So either way, you're fucked, is basically what Rockstar says. You can either kill him and you're fucked, or let him go and you're fucked. You don't find that incredibly frustrating? It's a two-edged sword.
But once again, you're supposed to keep a low profile.
Not if you're shooting somebody who's trying to shoot you.
And you don't have to kill the person. Like, if you run up with them with a lasso and grab them, you can tell them, like, you're going to forget my face. And they go, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You're right. Like, there were multiple ways to get around scenarios like that.
There were. But it's not as free as they seem to. As like, you could do whatever you want. You can't.
It's like free speech, man. You can say whatever the hell you want. There are consequences for your actions.
But that's not how the first one was, though.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. You could kill people and you'd be good.
No. You just can't, like, go into Armadillo and just start killing people.
You can't, but you could kill someone and it wouldn't be affecting immediately. Like, 7 people will show up.
Once again, dude, I don't know what he's doing to get that because I kill random people all the time.
I don't know. Maybe he's lost.
I don't know.
Anyway, so what are your We're going to talk now about the 2018 top 5 video games. And then we'll come to a conclusion of which one we both think should be the game of the year. And we're not going to pick one and then call it like we did with Injustice 2.
Just 2017 Even Metal Gamer. Even Metal Gamer's Game of the Year.
You're even fucking yawning of how boring that sounds.
Yeah, okay. It's also almost 3 in the morning.
Well, you don't have school tomorrow.
Yeah, but I got an 8-month-old that's gonna wake up at 6.
Ooh. Wait till he starts walking. Should be soon.
Yeah, I'm a little shit. Doesn't want to crawl. He's lazy as fuck.
He's big, you said.
Dude, he's colossal.
Well, the big ones take
He's
longer
wearing
to
18-month clothing.
Big ones take longer to walk. All right, so show me. What do you got for your top 5?
No, you go with your top
No,
5.
no, you start. I said it first. Can't decide this.
Yeah, I can.
No, I just said it. I'm not going to say it.
So we're just going to sit here in silence?
I guess so, or we'll keep it for the next episode.
No, well, first and foremost, my honorable mention, and I know I'm going to catch flack for saying this. Spider-Man didn't make my top 5.
What?
The only reason why Spider-Man didn't make my top 5 is I didn't get to play it as much. When I rented it, my little one he wasn't doing well. He had the colic and stuff, so I didn't get a lot of sleep. I rented it for a period of time, and I didn't get to play a lot of it. So it's an honorable mention. And I was hoping on Black Friday that I'd be able to get it on the cheap, and I didn't get it on the cheap. So I didn't get to play Spider-Man. Honorable mention. Sorry, guys at Insomniac. I know you guys made a great game. I've read all about it. I've seen the videos. But yeah, doesn't make my top 5. Sorry, guys. So coming in.
Apology accepted.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a beautiful game. I didn't get to beat it. I really don't think that there's anything about the story that would make it go from 5 to higher than what I have in my other 2 games. I enjoyed it immensely. It really reminded me of Metal Gear Solid 3 and seeing those concepts that they had. Konami's fucking stupid for not using the Fox engine, making Metal Gear Solid 3 again, and just using a lot of the stuff from Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I know, right?
It would make such a great game. So that is number 5. Number 4 comes in the wake of PC. I just bought it this week. A game called Frostpunk. Frostpunk is a survival simulator. Basically, if you take SimCity and throw it in a frozen wasteland and you got to help these people survive, that's what Frostpunk is. It's brutal. It is absolutely one of the hardest simulators I've ever played. I have yet to beat it. I have yet to survive and not get kicked out. You have everything from putting little kids to work in fields to taking people and amputating their frozen limbs. You could choose whether you want to have an actual cemetery or if you're just going to throw dead bodies in a pit. All of this stuff goes with whether the people are happy or sad or whether they're hopeful or not. It is a beautiful game. It's simple in its beauty. It's really, really hard. And I absolutely love it. That's number 4. Number 3. And once again, proving that graphics don't mean anything. Dead Cells. If you haven't played Dead Cell, well, first and foremost, if you're not good at video games, I don't recommend Dead Cells because you're just going to want to smash your controller because it's unforgiving and it's really, really hard. But it is absolutely amazing.
But it's not as bad as like Dark Souls and shit.
The game's hard though. It's really hard. I've only beaten one boss in the game. I haven't gone back because by the time I went back to it, Red Dead came out. So I haven't gone back to it yet. Still playing Red Dead. So there's that. Number 2. And if it wasn't for the game of the year, God of War would be the game of the year. It's a beautiful game. I absolutely loved this story. It was a really well done game. It was very beautiful. I didn't like the concept that there were several realms that were locked and nobody wants to talk about anything that's going on in the future. We have the teaser with Thor at the end, but they could have given us something by now, which is really stupid in my eyes. It's a great game. It's a beautiful game, but it doesn't win Game of the Year for me. When I look at it, when I look at the video game awards this year, I would have done a lot of the inverse. I don't think the guy who played Arthur Morgan was better than the man who played Kratos. I thought the best voice actor should have went to the guy who played Kratos. I think best narrative should have also went to God of War. I don't think Red Dead had a better narrative than God of War. But the 2018 Evil Metal Gamer Game of the Year goes to Red Dead Redemption 2. It was a game that literally I was 10 to 12, if not more, hours in, and I was still discovering things. Every character had a story, had an essence about them that made them original. But when you're just playing the game and seeing everything that this game is doing, there's not another game out there that is doing as much as this game is doing in its cycles. It is an absolute masterpiece, and it is why it is the 2018 Evil Metal Gamers.
No, don't say
Game
Evil
of the
Metal
Year.
Gamers. Stop it. Frank's Evil Metal Gamers decision. Stop doing that. Continue.
No, that's it.
What the fuck are you doing making decisions? I don't agree with that at all. So don't even put words in my mouth, and don't you be fucking saying that the whole 2019. I will shut this podcast down.
Yeah, okay.
So you done?
I'm done.
That was very beautiful the way you narrated that, but I mean, I'm tired, so I'm going to get to it. Okay, guys, honorable mention for me, and this is because I just got the game for Christmas. It's going to be Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Everybody who's been listening to the podcast knows that I absolutely love fighting games. I love them all. No matter what type of game it is, I love the fighting games. Dragon Ball Z Fighters or Fighter Z, whatever, is probably one of the most unbelievable looking fighting games I have seen in a long time. Not only does it actually look like it's actually hand-drawn Dragon Ball Z anime, it is ridiculously fast. This game is right up there with Marvel vs. Capcom. And I understand why Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was dropped and replaced by this game, because this is so close to the original Marvel vs. Capcom 2, maybe 3 even. But the 3-on-3 fighting thing is unbelievable. And if you get a chance to play it, I recommend it if you like fast-paced fighting. Number 5 for me, which opposite from Frank, I actually got to play it would be Spider-Man. Insomniac just did an absolute masterpiece with this game. I didn't think that it was possible to make a comic book based game as good as this game, because I was very disappointed with most of the Spider-Man games that have come out in the last few years. Probably the only Spider-Man game that I really liked. A lot of people like Spider-Man 2. I didn't like Spider-Man 2. The only Spider-Man game I liked was the game that came out for Neversoft. Did I say that right? The people who made...
Was that the one with Ash? He was doing the tutorial?
I don't remember Ash. It's Neversoft. The people who made the Tony Hawk games.
Right.
Yeah, that game for PlayStation was probably my favorite Spider-Man game. But from all the details that they put in this game, and just you could play this game for hours without having to fight anybody. Just swinging around the city is so fun, and it's just so satisfying that it's just incredible. And not only did they go in the route where it's fun to swing, but then they added stealth into the game. They added awesome moves. The way you fight with Spider-Man is not that complex or hard. It's very easy to learn, and they even have an easy mode where kids can play, and you're almost superhuman as the original Spider-Man. So you can just press buttons like crazy, and he'll do the rest. So even kids can enjoy it. I think that's great. My number 4 is Red Dead Redemption. And I guess I don't really have to explain much since Frank explained everything about Red Dead, but I do have to point out everything that I pointed out before we started this conversation of our top 5 is that there were a lot of things in this game that were let down to me. Maybe not to him, but it is a masterpiece. I'll give you that. It is probably one of Rockstar's best games ever made. The way the characters move, the way the characters narrate, it was just so good. And I have never been invested so much in a story like I did in Arthur's story. I mean, just playing from the beginning to the end, to me, the story was more important than anything in this game. A lot of people ventured off, but the story hooked me so bad that I just had to finish it. And bravo, Rockstar, you did great. Whoever wrote that should fucking be writing movies, to be honest. Get a hold of Clint Eastwood and get together and do something together, because you fucking nailed it with the story. Graphic-wise, it's for the console, unbelievable. I don't know how you pushed it so far, but it looks great. The only reason that I stopped playing Red Dead and I sold it so fast is because I have hope that it's going to come out for PC. And I don't want to invest more time on a game that probably will come out for PC in the next year, which there's also been leaks. If it does come out, I will buy the game again, and I will play the game through again. And then there's a good chance that that'll be my 2019 game of the year if it does come out this year. Number 3, which Frank is absolutely going to hate. 1 year it took for this game to come out in order for Nintendo to make their money. And that would be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Simple game. Great graphics. But the best thing that this game has going for it is that it's fun. There's no way you can play Smash Bros. And not have fun. Especially when you're playing with friends. The last 2 weeks, I've been playing Super Smash Bros. With 7 people. From 5 to 7 people. Every night at work. Whenever we get a break, everybody brings their own controllers. And I haven't had this much fun since GoldenEye and WWF Raw. All those games that Nintendo 64 just had people playing. And just the fact that when you're playing this game and so many people are playing and people pass by and they stop and glance, and it just catches people's attention. If you ever would walk by people playing Super Smash Brothers, there's no way you don't stop to look at the chaos that's going on the TV. People who don't even play video games will stop and look and see characters that they recognize from video games that came out 30 to 40 years ago, from Pong to Pac-Man to Street Fighter to Virtual Fighters. They just pumped so much stuff into this game. It is absolutely crazy. I 100% recommend this game for anybody who has a Nintendo Switch. It is such a fun game that it's just too hard to pass by. My number 2 game, Frank's gonna love. And that goes to Ubisoft's greatest game that I've played in a long time, and that would be Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was a game that I thought I was absolutely going to hate. I thought I was going to play the game and thinking it was just horrific, just because they have that reputation of where they come out with a game every year and then it sucks. Which Frank will, probably disagree with me, but I love the story of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I enjoyed the characters of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I didn't play as Alexios, but I did play as Cassandra, and Cassandra was such a great actress. Whoever voiced her did such a good job to make her such a likable character. Alexios, I'm sorry, it didn't catch my attention, but this game is so massive. And it's the one thing that I enjoyed about the game that I didn't like too much about Red Dead, is that even though it's so massive, you can travel from point to point. And yes, that I feel that is not what Rockstar was trying to do, but Ubisoft basically is just letting you travel around the world. Obviously, you have to unlock those speed points where you don't just find them, you have to unlock them. But the ocean, the land of Greece is breathtaking. It is absolutely breathtaking, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey was just fun. The RPG elements were great. The details, the fighting stances, the armor that you can put on your character and just change the armor around. I just had so much fun. That's a game that I'm still playing to today, and I passed it, and I got all the DLC, and it's just, I feel that that's a game that they could keep going for years to come. So I don't even think they need to have another Assassin's Creed after that one, in my opinion. And my number 1, the game of the year for Jose on the Evil Metal Gamers podcast would be Santa Monica's The God of War, or just God of War. This is a game that had the full package. This, to me, could be a fucking movie, to tell you the truth, guys. This game, from story to music to the graphics to the details, the fighting, it is like sex for my eyes, to tell you the truth, because there's nothing more unbelievable than to sit there and just go at it with Kratos and then have his son help you out. But then at the same time, once you're done with the action, there's this bond between them two that is just, it grows. Obviously, it feels like it's apart at first, and then it grows as the story progresses. And even though the game is kind of what do you call it? It's not very open world. It feels like it's open world, even though it's not. But just going on the canoe or the boat and hearing stories and the conversations, it is just to me that is a masterpiece. There's nothing that's been done like that before, and to change a character like Kratos, who was to me a douchebag in the original 1, 2, and 3, and to be able to change Kratos into a likable character, as in you care for him. I didn't really care for Kratos in the other games, but I cared for him now, and to see emotion in his face, because before the graphics were like, they didn't show much, but when every time the son got mad and he would walk away, you could see Kratos' face that he was hurt and that he felt bad, and just they did such a good job in making this character likable. And his son was fantastic too. Every character in this game is absolutely beyond like perfect. I wouldn't change a single character in the story. And like Frank said before, we should have had something by now. I mean, I'm really hoping that you give us a DLC soon, because that's a game that I really want to keep playing. I think it's such a great game, and I absolutely 100% am invested in giving you the Game of the Year. That's it.
Your point's null and void by putting Assassin's Creed so high. You should do the world a favor and jump off a bridge.
Nope. That's mine. Sorry.
Hence the reason why Red Dead Redemption 2 is the Evil Metal Gamers 2018 Game of the Year.
Not.
Yes, it is.
Nope, too many flaws. It doesn't belong up there.
It is.
It has way too many flaws.
It is.
And it was a buggy mess when it first came out. It was.
Keep thinking that.
I don't have to think about it. I can read it. You're the one who likes to talk about proof. Read the proof. All over. Bugs. It's the truth. It was an unfinished product. What do you want me to tell you? I was the first one to pass the game. So nobody was more invested in that game than me. So, yeah. That's my opinion. But right now we have God of War and Red Dead, and I don't think that we're gonna get one. But I'm not gonna give it to Red Dead. No way. Not over God of War. Hell no. God of War was a masterpiece.
Nah.
I mean, that's your game, and that's my game.
No, well, my game is always the Evil Metal Gamers Game of the Year.
No, your game is not the Evil Metal. Hey, guess what? I can edit that every time you say it.
Yeah, okay.
I could just dub that shit. I could dub it fucking Barbie's Dream House, and you'll never know. I won't change my mind. God of War was an unbelievable fucking game.
It was. And if it didn't come out this year, it would have been Game of the Year.
That's your opinion, not mine. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. Facts. We really appreciate it. It's really late right now, so I'm going to leave it with it. The places that you can get a hold of us. You can get a hold of us at evilmetalgamers@gmail.com or at Twitter at evilmetalgamers. We are also in Discord or Facebook or any other social media. You can find us by just looking Evil Metal Gamers. Thank you so much, guys, and take care.
Love, peace, and Red Dead is the Game of the Year.
No.